Hello, Natasha.
Hi.
So, can you just describe yourself? First of all, you were known as Miss Elegance, and now it's Natasha Lewis. Now, tell me about that first of all.
Elegance. The name Elegance came along when I was younger. I had my cousins and me. I'd have my cousins come to my mum's in the holidays, and the one time we got away from playing school and we basically thought, well, you know, what can we do? And so I came up with this fantastic, brilliant idea of basically developing a group. So I was Elegance, my cousin was Soft, little cousin was Soft, and my other cousin was Tender. And then in the end, I was the only one left as Elegance. And I chose to keep that name. I was pretty young. I think I was about the age of 10, 11 coming up at the time. I got to the age of 16, 17 and looked up the word elegance one day and saw that it meant full of grace, plush, exquisite, extraordinaire, and all them long words there. So I chose to keep the name because...
So what does the word elegance represent for you?
Elegance. An elegant person has a certain manner to them. They act in a certain way, polite, pleasant. They carry themselves in a certain way. They've got that, what I say, decorum.
Okay, decorum,
yeah,
that's a nice word.
They carry themselves in a way where they don't just dress presentable, but that elegance, it shines through from the inside.
Even if they're in a casual state?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what's happening with you at the moment is that you've recorded a new song, and I just got to dwell on this transformation from Miss Elegance to Natasha Lewis, because obviously you're kind of using your real name as your artist name now. But what sort of music was you making when you was known as Miss Elegance?
When I was known as Elegance, I was making R&B, hip hop. I was rapping, singing things that was of the world, things of an explicit nature at times also. I was doing secular music, basically, as this is what they call that type of music. I was doing secular music. Now my music is gospel, deep R&B gospel, but it's all gospel and all revolves around God.
So everything is you want your words in this new incarnation of yourself to be more spiritual, more uplifting. And is that why you coined the phrase deep R&B, because it's on R&B sort of beats?
Yes, it's on that type of R&B beat. I mean, when it comes down to it, I feel as though gospel, it's godly lyrics, it's got to do with the lyrics, but then it doesn't really have to just do with the lyrics, it has to do with your lifestyle also. You can't be basically singing gospel and coming with gospel lyrics without feeding yourself spiritually with the word of God.
Okay.
So, it goes very deep.
Okay, we're not going to get too deep into your background, because we're more here to speak about your song.
Okay.
Now, this song was produced by SliverfoxBeatz, he's a Birmingham-based producer, and just tell me about the song you wrote to this beat.
The song I Need You. Now, this song came along, basically, I believe that we all need God, you know, we need God. He is life. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. There would not be no birds, trees, no human beings, no us. So we need God. This song was inspired by, how can I put it, the sound of the beat. From what I heard, really got me at first, and then afterwards the lyrics came along. This song, I Need You, was basically just thinking about God, really, and
okay. Now,
thinking about
this song, right? We have to let's put some timestamps on it.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
About what, I know it's this year, 2020, but about what time in the year did you write this song?
This song was written in July.
In July
2020.
In July 2020.
Yeah.
Now, from July, you went through some tribulations.
I did.
So
I did.
I really want to get into that, because to get to the final mix of this song, right, you went through a process. So just give me a quick insight into that.
I did indeed.
Without incriminating the guilty.
I did indeed. I went through a process at the time of doing this song.
So when you was recording, what happened?
What happened, I was recording 1 minute and got the song done, and then the next minute my equipment in my property got taken away. I was basically accused.
So the authorities came into your place and took away your equipment?
Yes, they did.
And what was their reason in the stated document?
In the end, their reason was, basically it was noise nuisance is what their reasons were. But
noise nuisance for recording gospel?
Yes, I know. It seems pretty ridiculous, but it was.
So your singing was causing a noise nuisance to neighbours?
Yes. I mean, I don't sound like a cat getting strangled, but yes, it was.
And this process of you losing your equipment, what effect did that have on your mental state and your being at that time? It
really got me down. I was worried at the time. I was distressed because nothing like that had never happened to me
and
before.
There's also repercussions of this, because it wasn't just that you got this noise abatement order or whatever. There was implications to your living accommodation.
Yes, because of this noise nuisance accusation, I was told that I've breached tenancy, and so my tenancy would be taken away from me at a later date. I'd have to give it up or have it taken away from me in court.
All because of you recording this one song?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So the short of all is obviously they find you and you got your equipment back.
Yes.
But it didn't really stop there.
It didn't, no, it didn't. I got my equipment back on the 9th of September, and by the 28th of September I had another letter through my door stating that I was making noise nuisance once again, which and then these things were happening. Basically with that situation, that got taken to a solicitor and the solicitor's dealing with it. So since the 28th of September I haven't heard anything. So
you just really left it with God to deal with this issue for you?
Yes.
Right. And first, coming back onto the song I Need You, now the words I need you every single hour, every single day. Do you feel that was relevant during this period of tribulation that you were going through?
I feel as though that was relevant. I feel as though that those words were relevant, because at the time of going through what I was going through, there was times where I really felt like down. I really felt depressed and down in the dumps, disconnected at times, and there was times where there was a time where I even felt upset, angry, kind of, you know, and
you couldn't really understand why people would be this vindictive against you purely for just recording vocals in your house.
I couldn't understand that. Excuse me. I couldn't understand that. No, I couldn't. And so basically it got to the end of everything. I believe that everything happens for a reason. Even though that happened and it came through as a negative, I believe that the positive outlook of it was, well, sometimes you have to go through something for that something to then catapult you into a place where you're supposed to be, or where God wants you to be, you know?
And I know that the song really sort of hits the chord of not making everything be dependent on yourself, but
yes,
knowing that acknowledging that you need God in your life.
Yes. I believe that from the words of the song, from that situation, I believe that there was things that were out of my control. There was things that I wasn't able to make happen or do, you know, and I do believe that at that time I did solely have to depend upon the Lord, you know, to see me through. Needing God every single hour, every minute, every second of the day. I mean, we wake up in the morning and we don't wake ourselves, you know. We don't breathe the breath of life into ourselves. It's God himself that breathes that breath of life into us. We're able to move around and walk around and think, and, you know, because of God himself, you know. So we need him every hour, minute, second.
Would you think that during this COVID era, I should say, that it's more, this song's probably more relevant now than, because obviously the amount of people, especially in this country, the UK, have died because of this virus, and the fact that you're restricted to, you can't even perform live. Can you even remember when you last performed live?
I can't remember actually. Let me see. Last performed live. Church. December, November, something like that of last year.
And since then, it's just been locked down, and you've not even been able to go to church because churches haven't even been open, have they?
No, they haven't. There's 1 and 2 churches open, but then you have to register on Eventbrite.
Okay.
In order to be able to register first and then turn up at church on Sunday. And obviously, as they say in the news, there's limited numbers that can gather in one place, like in church buildings and so forth. So
okay, so this is the first track from like a set of tracks that you've written for your EP. And have you got any sort of thoughts on titles and stuff like that?
Titles for an EP.
Where would this fit in? Where would this track now fit into the future of your production?
It would, titles of tracks, it would fit into, I've never really thought of a title for the EP, to be honest. Now that's going to get me thinking of titles. But in terms of titles, I guess when it comes to titles, I guess a title would come naturally. Wouldn't really sit down and couldn't really give a title on the spot.
Okay. Well, you're about to launch a new website as well, natashalewis.net.
Yes.
And what sorts of things, because I know that singing is not your only thing, right? You're not just a pretty face, or you're not just singing songs, you teach, you write. So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, teaching, I've always wanted to teach music. When I was younger, I was an only child when I was younger, and I used to always play school in my bedroom, but never did think that I'd get to the age where I am now and actually be in teaching, on a teaching course and in a teaching placement and in a position to be able to teach music.
Do you see it as your way of giving back to people or leaving some kind of legacy for people who need these sorts of skills?
I do see it as giving back to people, giving back to the younger people, the youths. Also, you know, like there was a time within my life when I was younger where it was like, okay, I want to do music, but how do I do it? Where do I go?